So we have our matchup. Which map we'll be playing on? This is our best of one map. Ban, of course, goes, well, ban.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to see Consulate again, that's for sure. It's interesting to see Clubhouse out early, but Villa, this should be an interesting match. Reciprocity have an interesting record on that.
Would you say it was very interesting?
It's very interesting. I'm interested to see how they play interestingly on this map.
Interesting. This is a strong map for Reciprocity.
And it's been an interesting map, too, in terms of like how it's swayed sometimes between being very defender-sided and then very attacker-sided.
It really depends on the matchup. You're like, oh my god, Ichi are playing this. Why is this attacker-sided?
It's been strange, and I feel like more so lately, and I don't have the stats to back this up, so I could be totally wrong, but
we'll see.
I feel like it's more skewed towards attackers lately.
Yeah, we'll see this, I think, and after the first couple rounds, how things pan out. What do you guys think, though? Because we always care about what you have.
Is that the exact same numbers? From
literally exactly
I'm pretty sure it is the exact same numbers.
Is this... It's wrong. There we go.
That's why it's the exact same numbers. So, what do you expect? There you go. We remembered numbers this time without writing them down, so progress.
Yeah. It took us 2 years, but we got it.
Still pretty close, though. A little bit less for rest.
Not much for TSM.
That's fanboyism. I mean, unless you guys see something in TSM that has just drastically changed, because I haven't seen this TSM come alive in a best of one pack. In a best of one format, they have not shown up.
Yeah.
Yet. So that is the issue for them, really.
Reciprocity show up no matter what.
Yeah, Reciprocity, I mean, they struggle sometimes, but they manage to make it through. I mean, Laxing eventually just kind of bites down and just does it.
All
right, everyone else is dead. I guess I'll just clutch this out one more time. That's how Reciprocity works sometimes.
He's the chef. I was talking about this today. Like, I imagine Laxing is the guy that wakes up at 6 a.m., the only guy up at the Reciprocity house, gets up, goes to the gym, comes back home, prepares all the steaks, put them in the fridge, takes a nap, wakes up, does the cooking, because no one else can do it the same way.
You spent so much time thinking about that, obviously.
I had like 3 hours.
Yeah. that's what we do for prep, is we fantasize about what the players do when they're not playing.
Let's not talk about how we fantasize about Uno. That's something for another day and another stream. But that's our matchup, and we saw we're going to be playing on Villa. I'm very excited about the operator bans, because we saw how important Jackal is on this map.
And we could see Goyo on this map, I think, a bit more than we would have on Consulate.
How surprised would you be? On a scale from 1 to 10, how surprised would you be if you saw no Goyo in this game?
We'll go with a 5. Just because I know it's the start of the season, teams are still working on their strats, but it's not that hard to figure out. Put a shield where you don't want them to be. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, the armory pushes into border with like 5 shields in front of you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like
Luminosity.
Why am I here?
Rocked that in the qualifiers.
Why am I playing this game?
Yeah, it worked so well. Buck going out here, not a huge surprise. He is very strong on this map from below, and apparently Fox is hot. Good to know.
I mean, that's kind of. I mean,
I thought we
already know that. Like,
dropping facts.
Sorry, Fuya, but everybody kind of already knew that.
Right.
Thatcher is going to be banned, so it's not going to be the Jackal. Huh.
Interesting. Yeah, they used to be a pretty constant ban against Reciprocity.
No Maverick, no Habana, no Thermite ban.
Oh, Laxing can't swim, so he's definitely not hitting the pool at the gym. Maestro. All right, so
Maestro?
Goyo, Echo.
Mira?
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities here. And that's what I like about additional ones being added to the pool, because then it spices it up.
Goyo or Mira. And it's
again. All right, there's a lot of choices available. I mean, Maestro is gone, unfortunately, but so the combo with the shields is no, Merc. We can. Do some leaks while you think we can't see it. Leak some info.
Super's dad owns all of Pro League.
Yeah. Shh. They were supposed to leak it, not you. You should have texted them.
Oh, God.
I assume Fox is not talking to us. Unfortunately. No. Clash, are we actually going to see it played here by Nyx? Let's see. 6th pick.
I like how everybody just has fun. Look, not many here have been to a LAN event for Siege. I highly recommend you do so, because then you just get to see the players that are just joking about and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, while they probably talk a bit behind each other's back, in comparison to each other, they're generally pretty fun and not really as toxic as they may come across. I enjoy most of the North American crowd. But, a lot of the players have been around for so long, too, and all know each other very well at this point. I mean, you do have a little bit of freshest blood, but everyone here has been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
This matchup, so.
I think I'm still, like, I know Nyx has popped off really hard in the past year, but I think he has so much more still to offer.
Oh, absolutely. I think he was a great pickup for this team.
Oh, yeah. They have to be really proud. Unfortunately, it kind of breaks the whole family mold that they had at Dark Zero.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know, Sing Sky's entering the team, and
imagine Christmas was awkward.
yeah,
Family time.
Imagine like trying not to share strats with your family.
Merc with a quick entry though. He wasn't even scanning before. He just went in, take out the camera. Now I'm finding these batteries. You don't see Bandit played as often anymore, but Laxing is a great Bandit player, so I guess I'm not terribly surprised. But it's interesting that it's combined with the Kaid. They're really going to stop things from being opened as best they can. That's what the Thatcher ban was for. However, that was from TSM, so Rec really just abusing it.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, what do we want to ban? The Jackal, fine, we still have the Thermite to play with. It really does come down to what TSM have in store, but I'm sure teams have scrimmed as well quite a bit leading up to the start of the season here, so
yeah,
it might have been where, this is something that they constantly do in scrims, and we want to play off of that. Grenade will sail over the head of Laxing and will not do any damage to him. As he falls back, though, he'll be shot from 90. And there's just the entry there. Merc will find Laxing. That's the first kill of the game. And just scanning around for any utility that has been preset for yokais. Very specifically, you heard that Echo Drone go off.
You can see one right there a second ago.
So it's a bit further away, but hey, right now the biggest thing that is kind of unusual is that nobody from TSM is really controlling in bedroom, excuse me. Usually for this sort of attack into statuary,
this is also not usually a primary bomb site.
Yeah, but it's just so strong because you can hold off against people in bedroom, and TSM realized, like, okay, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot by banning the Thatcher. We need to go in from another position.
Right, because they know that walls aren't getting opened. I mean, they did take out the ban. It says he's going to be tricky or anything, but I don't think that was the intention anyways. Vertical actually shutting himself into the bathroom there, probably to keep the smell contained. Bolo, though, trying to find someone having to jump his drone instead of moving it. It's a lot of slowdowns here from TSM as they don't seem to know how they want to approach this just yet. Little pre-fire through a soft wall, though, might help clear out bathroom. But they seem, again, stalled out. 37 seconds yet left, and they're still trying to find their way into that master bedroom. Merc, the one really doing some work here, trying to push forward. Unfortunately, C4 cannot be shot in time.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss there. Geo is going to peek around the corner, running the Capitao. They need him to open things up here, maybe lock down some of the players in position. And yeah, he's going to be switching around to the firebolts. There's one. It'll go right into the face of Fox as Pojaman will be able to go for the finisher. You have to walk in. There's 5 seconds left. Where's Diffuser? It's in the hands of Geo, but he's low on HP. A singular bullet can kill him right now. And he's going to keep on planting. Bolo will find 1 kill on Retro. This is great here to finish off anybody on the flanks. And Nyx not on his yokai. This is all going in the way of TSM as Reciprocity muck it up so bad off of having a huge advantage. Yokai nowhere to be found. The Diffuser is planted by a player that was low on HP. Everything went so well for Reciprocity, including time, but TSM capitalized.
I mean, it was a really good push from players like Merc to really get a lot of map control early, and then they were able to try and pinch then from the bedroom. You said that why aren't they attacking from the bedroom? They're kind of leaving it, whatever, the bedroom's not really being defended very well. But the way that they took map control early of the other side and then used it more for a pinch absolutely paid off that round. They had man advantage. It was time management that they were really struggling with towards the end there, though.
And because you're pushing all your players from a singular position, you can really cut and clear very quickly. This is why you didn't see the 2 players that are playing in Aviator and Games Room really surviving for long. And we're going to go downstairs here for the play in the kitchen. You'll see the stats as Season 4.
I think it's kind of funny. You see TSM banning it more, but also winning it more.
Because Reciprocity love to play this map.
They apparently don't love to win it enough, as it was 3 losses, 0 wins and draws.
I want to go back and see who they lost it to, so give me a moment.
Yeah. I mean, they play it very well. They just, I guess, don't close it out very well. Laxing going to be on the Mozzie in combination with that mute of Nyx. And then the intel from Fox. It's a good lineup. We saw in Consulate how effective that could be. See if it'll be as effective on Villa. But there's a lot of map to clear. So we'll see if that helps the roamers play around and just really slow down TSM again. Because again, that was a bit of a weakness for them. But Geo actually pushing in fairly early towards Laundry here to try and take some control around the bomb site. They're actually clearing downstairs pretty heavily. Interesting to see. They are expecting, you know, potentially a player to be roaming down there.
So one of those maps, one of those times this map was played by Rec, it was against EG. And that was a 7-5 victory.
That was a good one.
That was in September, though, so that was a while ago. And it's a different team, so
yeah.
It doesn't... Obviously, all these stats count for the past 6 months.
Well, I mean,
so
both these teams have new players. Achieved, though, picking off one of the new players of Reciprocity early. Great initial. Geo following it up on a Fox as well. Laxing might have to clutch this one out again.
This is the top floor clear. This is what TSM should be doing. And they're doing it well. Again, this is Villa. There's a map that's just so strong for the defense, and Reciprocity historically have been really darn good on their defense. On average, they're winning something like 3 or 4 rounds on the defense. So losing 2 early on is not going to be great. If they lose 3, that's just no bueno.
Like I said, I feel like lately it's shifted a lot more towards attacking favored for whatever reason, in terms of the way that maybe there's a lot better strats for attacking and a lot more utility available, things like that. But nice firebolt there from Geo. It actually leaks through the wall there. He's going to have to struggle with it himself, but he is doing a good job trying to control this area, and then Pojo going to try and set up for a play here when the smoke comes out. See if they can sneak this plant in quickly. One more firebolt just to make sure if they try to run into the smoke there.
Oh,
wow,
Nyx!
From above, though.
What? How? Where did he come from? Didn't they have top floor control? Bolo will still walk on in. He'll find 1 kill on Laxing. Merc from behind. He gets 1 more as he comes in from the painting room. And now Nyx is watching, but the diffuser's already been carried away. It'll force Nyx to drop. Should be heard now. Not sure if there's a drone to confirm this, but Bolo's looking the other way. And diffuser's going to be set. Nyx, no nitro cell. Terrible position for him to be in. And the Guzmot's actually going to be thrown to the opposite end. There's the second one, and unfortunately it does not pop in Nyx's face. Should be spotted, but he finds the head of Bolo. That's one. It's a 3K, but no. Merc is ready, and he's doing so much work for TSM. He hits the last one, and Nyx will be shut down. Look at that. Oh my God. The fact that he just instantly tapped the player in the pantry. That was beautiful.
I mean, that was a nice 3-piece for Nyx that round. He almost single-handedly saved the round in 2 respects. First off, by taking down the diffuse plant when they were going to go for it, and then second off, almost being able to clutch it out there.
I think he snuck around the mid-stairs behind Merc.
It was a similar situation what we saw in Consulate coming out from EG, just those sneaky plays, retaking areas they're not holding. I mean, no one's bringing map control ops in terms of Gridlock or Nomad, things that can actually hold an area with gadgets as opposed to Claymores, which, let's be honest, Claymores are not that effective at this level of play because most players, unless you catch someone on a run out that's like poorly prepared, most of the time they're able to find an angle to shoot the Claymore, and it's one quick tap that's quiet enough that they don't give their position away. So, we'll see Buck, though, actually the least banned of the 4 for this. Valkyrie Maestro, though, highly banned, and they are very effective on this map. Again, it's a big map. Having a lot of intel on it definitely helps being able to play aggressively on the roam, and they are, again, bringing in the Mute Mozzie and Pulse combo. See if they could do a bit better this time in terms of those early trades, especially. And I wonder if TSM is going to go for the same push, as they are playing into the dining and kitchen again. That push was a decent idea. If they controlled that hatch above, they could have pulled it off, because you don't know exactly where he's going to be planting, and it's just down to a C4 throw or smoke throw to be able to try and stop it. They do have a bit of C4, though. I imagine 3, probably on Mute, Mozzie, and Pulse. Oh, no, Mozzie's carrying barbed wire. Sorry, I just realized he's on the screen right there. So, maybe just 2 C4s then, interestingly. Well, they really want that barbed wire to slow things down then, to be able to pick barbed wire over C4 really shows that there's certain valuable spots that they really need in this defense for that barbed wire.
Yeah. You see Bolo with the Kickstar charm there.
Yeah, make sure to get those. Make sure to sub to.
Go to sub to Kicks so he can take us out to dinner.
Yeah. Absolutely. We need like a goal though, right? Like if X amount of people sub, he takes us out to dinner.
Every night.
There you go.
Thanks, Michael. He's such a generous man.
The Kicks starter fund.
I love you, though. I really have missed you. I really have.
It's been a while. I literally haven't sat here since mid-October. Ooh, nice initial kill by Fox, turning it around. Chiefs had some good plays last time, so that's a great start from the Pulse. Players have gotten so good at the ump. There's just some people that are really skilled on it. We saw that last map as well. They are trying to at least do a better job with intel this time, but they're getting a lot slower map control with the exception of Merc, who's really just been balls to the wall, getting into the map on Villa. He seems to just be very confident on the IQ with the G8 of all things.
Well, just the G8 just gives you that extra maneuverability, right? Because you have more ammo, plus that angle grip that was added to it in previous patch.
That's what I was going to say. His ADS time is a little rough, but the angle grip does help with that.
Exactly, and I really think that once you've gotten beyond the recoil, you can do a lot of work with it. Ball is using the breaching charges as we've come to expect. Breach charges on one of the players is kind of the staple right now. And there you go. Quick shots, and you can control so much here from the top floor. Plus, because of the breach charges, you have so much line of sight into the site itself.
Unfortunately for TSM, they're just looking for picks now off of it, though.
Huh.
Because they have man disadvantage. Time's running away, and unless they find some early picks, I don't see them getting this plant down without just trying that cheeky smoke plant again.
And the problem is Reciprocity have taken a lot of damage, but no one's dead. And even if they're low on HP, they can still be a big threat for you later on in the round. Maxing and Fox and Nyx taking a decent chunk of damage each, and Nyx will be the entry here for TSM as, well, he actually tried to come up those stairs, at least from what I could tell in Astronomy.
Make it again.
Ends up dying. Geo preparing himself for the play as with top floor control, TSM are very comfy in going for this plant, something that they were failing at in the previous round. Vertical with one, but Mark on the refrag here. The G8 doing work. It is going to start popping up, and it gets shot in the back. Laxing doing the work. Now Geo is going to watch for rotations. He knows there's one player around the corner. Diffuser is going to get planted, but Retro has gotten a kill on Geo. Pojo Man firing away as there is one crossbow bolt to help him out, but there's a 0v3. It's all been done. Reciprocity rescue the round, and they'll be able to pick up their first one on Villa.
Much better patience there from Reciprocity. They were in a lot better positions to just deny the diffuse plant. You saw, for example, even them setting up with 20 seconds left before a smoke went out in the doorway at the laundry, and there was still the barbed wire there.
It's just the flanks were lost by TSM.
Well, they were so concerned about shoring up what they did last time, which is losing that top floor control to Nyx.
Yeah.
They were so concerned about that their bottom control was really weak, and most of the players just retreated downstairs. Yes, they did lose Nyx trying to rotate him up again, but at that point, so much time had been burned, and they were not giving away any free picks from above, so it just came down to a few trades downstairs, and they mostly went in the favor of the defenders' Reciprocity. It was not a great defense. Aviator Games here with Mira, though, on the 6th pick. That should be interesting. So he's interesting to see how those mirror defenses work of Aviator, because you can see in his study, and that is so strong. Yes, there are some ways to deal with it, but the Kaid definitely makes it harder. So we'll see how this goes for defenses. Reciprocity really needs another point. They put a lot into dining, going for it twice early on, so they're definitely not playing the normal meta. The normal meta is Aviator Games, then Trophy, then Dining. Instead, they went Trophy, then Dining twice, now finally Aviator. Similar to Constant, where we didn't see CEO till towards the end, and only on one of the teams. So definitely the meta has shifted on these two maps in terms of what the primary bomb sites are. I mean, we'll see when we go to the defensive side for TSM where they prefer, but it has been interesting to see those shifts in terms of primary stuff without the new operators factoring into that. A window getting popped early, I hope that was intentional. Because I gotta imagine that was intentional.
It seems like it.
It's an odd choice, a crouch height hole right there. It's definitely an odd placement. It looks like it is the canister facing into study as well, so that does mean it was intentional.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that happened.
They want to fight it from behind bar.
Yeah, and setting up the window the way that they did means that you actually have a bigger angle when you're playing it from behind the bar compared to anybody that's playing inside of.
It helps you control the doorway, so that the opposite doorway there into Aviator is generally where a lot of teams try and push from. The thing they have to, or the thing they can do as well now is if Habana tries to hit the wall on the Aviator, they can shoot it from that hole, the mirror window hole that they made. So so they can shoot off those X-Kairos.
Obviously, as a very wise man said many times, these holes work both ways. I wonder who that person was.
I don't know, but I hope it always stays true. I would hate for to see them only work one way. So, well, I guess with the mirror windows, they are sort of like holes that work one way, but...
Kinda.
Okay, Merc again. Just the bravery of this man.
He's always the spearhead.
It's honestly working pretty well for them.
He sets up the Claymore in the way that it is right now because you have the red carpeting.
It's similar to Cafe, right? Red on red.
Yep. It really makes it difficult to see it. You really have to experience it yourself. This is meant mostly to protect from any late round flanks, so you're not going to always be so focused on checking, and the angle to get to it plus spotting it is more difficult than you would think.
It's a staircase you often see roamers try and rotate up later on, like you said. That will definitely factor in, because even if they have to even if they shoot the Claymore, that's going to burn a little bit of time. And if that's a post-plant scenario, that's very important.
It gives you the information, and because Villa is such a big map, you're not going to see players just rotating.
Well, yeah, we've seen no one's really been able to maintain good map control.
So what's the play now? Pojo's going to walk on in, and the drone is going to get shot and destroyed. You really have to keep that drone economy in mind.
Here we go. They're going to shoot those off.
It's a bit of a higher set of the X-Kairos there. Is there an angle? No, they're afraid of anybody shooting. No,
there they go.
No, that was a trick.
Yeah.
So Nyx is going to be able to set up his Electro Claw, but Vertical finds Pojo, man. That is actually a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
The fact that he landed it is pretty crazy there, all the way down to the window. You lose the Habana, your heart breach is all down. What do? You have to go for the Hail Mary push. You're at 30 seconds. TSM need to go for the push.
Gio seems like either he's getting a lot of different calls or he's really not sure what to do.
There's the smoke, and he's going to get up closer to the bomb. And unfortunately, this is not a great spot to go for the plant, but does save him from a nitro cell. One has come up, and Gio's so close. Oh, so close to take him out of his own teammate there. So still, Nyx will find Gio. Diffuser's been set. It's a 5v3, but Merc will hit one headshot. He goes for the second, and Merc is all on fire. The pre-fire here around the corner, but Fox will win out and remain at full HP. A 3v2 now. A big advantage for Reciprocity. Try to walk out, and there's the Claymore.
There it is.
Merc does it. Laxton's going to get taken out. Another one for Merc. He's looking for the ace, but no, he gets dropped by Vertical. It's now a 1 versus 1. Vertical at half HP. He's going to need to stick it. Doesn't have much time, and there's the last kill achieved. He'll guarantee it. Beautifully done by TSM, but all Merc, all day,
I'm telling
every single round. The man is a monster.
He is. I mean, I almost don't want to see him play any other operator because the way he's been playing this is amazing. I mean, even one of them's a Claymore kill of all things, like right next to him.
We had just talked about it, and like, really, because it's a late round.
And I just said post plant as well.
Yeah, it's a late round Claymore, and it's a Claymore that is way more difficult to spot than you would imagine. Yeah. It's just the red lines mix so well with the carpet.
Here's what impresses me though. They got that plant down 5v4. I think it was 4 at the time, or 5v5 at the most. All of the members of Reciprocity were up.
Yeah, full HP. Smokes have already been used.
He even ran through toxic smoke.
It ended up also being by the time the diffuser was set, Capitao already died. So Gio was down, and you were kind of really...
I love the living room library stat. Because no one wants to play most of the time. It is a little more attacker-sided, and like I've said before, I feel like dining room is the better site over trophy, and you can kind of see that in the stats there. But yeah, attackers have definitely had a better time lately. TSM, especially Merc, being a big part of that so far here in this matchup. Reciprocity just struggling. They're finding some picks, but they're just not allowed. They're not able to shut down a lot of these plants. I mean, Gio's doing a great job on the Capitao, especially combined with Merc. It reminds me of when we saw, I believe it was USN, was Canadian and Bosco, kind of the plant duo with the smokes in the plant. And we're seeing this kind of a similar duo here from Merc and Gio. And it's working out pretty well. Although, oddly enough, it's the guy that's smoking is also the guy planting, as opposed to the situation I'm talking about where Bosco would smoke for Canadian.
Yeah, allowing him to enter and, you know, go for the play himself.
The Merc's gunning, keep him on the gun.
He's doing work. And, well, of course, he's going to be sticking to that IQ. There's something to look for in later matches for any opponents. You see Achieve the way he's walking in means there's no drone to cover him and give him any info on those astronomy stairs. I'm just going to be clearing out as much of the utility as humanly possible. Seems like Reciprocity set up a lot of it to try and slow down TSM, but that sort of trickery is not working.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was 4v5 when they got the plant down, so it doesn't seem like they necessarily feel like they have to clear everyone out. They just need to get in a good situation to cover post-plant.
What I really want to verify is where Laxing is playing right now, because I think he's downstairs, and I'm not sure if he's set there. Yeah. So this position is great for two reasons. One of them is, of course, you can just walk up the mid-stairs and fight from there. But the second is having a Nitro Cell to fight against your opponents from below. Unfortunately, Laxing does not have that option, as he has brought his set of barbed wire. And you see, that Claymore is just way more difficult to spot than you think.
Oddly enough, there goes the barbed wire as well.
Yeah, this is just spectator for the Claymore, and this makes it way easier to find anyways. But there you go. Nitro Cell is going to go out. No work done. That was probably your only Nitro Cell. I'm not sure if Nyx is bringing something on the Cotton himself. But yeah, that's done. Oh, around the corner, Geo.
Yeah.
Missing the shot as Pojo takes 25
It's really
damage.
too bad Laxing isn't bringing the C4, because he could have been in a great position to throw up a C4 without having to cross that Claymore. And he's likely to know about it this time, but he can't do as much about it, because he doesn't have the utility to clear it easily. Pests are doing a good job at least stopping some of the droning, because TSM does at least need intel. But the fact that Merc and Geo stacked up just outside bomb site again, it's good. But I got to imagine that Reciprocity are going to be better prepared for that plant spot this time. So it's unlikely to work a second time. He might have to change a plant behind the usual spot in the display case, but he is anticipating going for a plant here. Trying a little bit of pre-fire, smokes are coming out again. Somewhat early from Retro, but still only 20 seconds left. We saw last time him just run straight through the toxic gas, not even care. Could see a similar situation here, but there's a lot of opening.
Oh no.
He's able to take down Nyx.
That's not a great spot there. Nyx really gives himself up. Merc will find another one. Fox is going to be stunned. We'll find one kill, but a refrag from Pojo Man. Even better this time around for TSM, but they're going to lose out on two players of Vertical, finding those two with his Vector there. Nitro Cell thrown out, but he's solo on health. Ezekiel there for Geo. It started off in the previous round with TSM being a man down, and then another one right after the diffuser was planted with 5 full HP on Reciprocity. This time, it was a 5v5 and actually turned into a 4v5 very quickly as the plant was still happening. I'm not sure about that kite play from Nyx. I don't think he should have peeked and challenged.
That was the problem, is they saw 20 seconds left in the smoke going out, and they thought, you know, let's be aggressive because they're going to want to go for plant soon, so we'll push against that. It worked for Vert, but not really for anyone else for the most part. Fox did, pick up one, but because he was so instantly traded while the plant was still going down with no real plant denial, it kind of didn't matter. It was an impactless kill for the most part. I mean, yes, it's one less person covering post-plant, but they had such a man advantage at that point that it was all in Vertical to try and do something. Like you said, low health, getting shot through the soft wall as well. It wasn't great. They're going to try dining one last time here. Not really trying trophy a second time. So far, they haven't really had great success on any bomb site. The only one they've even won on defense is dining here, so it does make sense to try and go back to that. They are going to try and stop that push in, that that Merc Geo combo plant again. So they're going to be better prepared for that, but they also are going to want to try and keep that top control that Nyx used so well the first time they denied that plant. But this is kind of both teams trying to counter each other. We know that TSM's using similar attack strats. Reciprocity's using similar defense strats, but they're both trying to outplay each other towards the end of the round. And it's interesting how few early picks we're getting in this matchup because of that. They're both kind of dodging around each other, trying to find an advantage. And then it just comes down to a lot of gunfights towards the end. And TSM are winning a lot of those, 4-1. So far, Merc, look at that, 11.
Yep.
Highest you have from anyone else is 5. He's literally twice anyone else, +1.
I mean, he has as much kills as the entirety of his team right now.
He's a beast right now.
And TSM are leading 4-1 on attack on Villa.
What I want to see, though, is how they defend. Because we could see a switch up like we saw in Consulate, where it was pretty defense heavy and then switched up to the other team. Could be the similar situation here. This might end up a lot closer than it looks.
Honestly, I just love how TSM are controlling the roam game. And also how Reciprocity aren't even doing any... Oh boy.
Spotting pulse. Fox. In the leg even, it looked like.
Yeah,
Fox, he's out of the game.
Yeah, he was crashing. That was...
Yeah.
He shot him so bad, it kicked him out of the game. But no, you could see him walking in place.
They shot him with the Alt F4.
But unfortunately, because
Yeah,
it happened after the first 30 seconds.
We'll probably have a rehost if he's not able to get back in.
There you go.
Yeah, nothing to do for this round. He's just down and out.
No.
It's too bad, too, because he was pretty good late round getting kills. So that's definitely going to hurt things, not to mention a C4 off the board. So this might just be another round for TSM off that because, well, that's one of the earliest kills they've gotten.
And here's actually
Nyx.
2. Nyx, he finds 2 kills for his own, and he's looking for a third one, but he's going to drop that every single time. Reciprocity are
That
just
hatch.
able to run up and play in the bedroom. TSM just have everything. How does this keep happening? This is the third time. Third round that Nyx is able to do this.
Important thing is they've lost Merc now, though. That's a big blow, given how he's been playing.
Of course, this round will count. We're just confirming this because Fox dropped later on after the rehost.
Yeah, obviously we're not the admins to make that call, but I'm pretty sure that's within the play this round out.
Yeah, this is just a standard rule set, so this is confirmed right now by our production team. There's Spojo Man dropping into the pantry. He has the hole to play around with. He just has to be very careful. Nobody's in B, and there is indeed one player waiting for him. Flashbang thrown into dining hall there as Bolo still clearing things out. There's 28 seconds, and he hasn't used all of his utility yet. Not even ready to prep Pojo for this push. They're 3v4, and Nyx has taken a bit of damage, but all the utility has been wasted. We're at 15 seconds left. You have to go in. Bolo finds a big one now on a Nyx. And do they know that there's a player right on the side here on B? Yes, they do. Geo finds one. They turn around to take down Laxing, but it's Retro from the side. He gets 2 with the SMG-11. And Kitchen is where all those bodies collect. Unfortunately, that smoke wall didn't really help.
It was impressive, though, for Reciprocity to take that back after losing Fox. But that was down to Nyx killing Merc. Really, that was all they needed to do to save that round is we lost Fox, but you know what? I'll kill Merc, and then we win.
Yeah, basically it. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rehost our matchup here as Fox not been able to come back in during the allotted time in the round itself. We'll make things easier for everyone. But yeah, here we are. I assume that everybody's back at the rec house.
Yeah, they're all, I imagine, at the Vegas rec house. So I doubt it's like an internet problem or something like that, or you probably would have seen the team drop.
Usually fun to know who's in Vegas right now. We call Blue. It tells us, I saw everybody at this Korean place.
Yeah, he actually ran into LG right after they won.
Invitational quals, like right before their last game. They had won the second to last one for playing, going up against Space Station. He's like, yeah, dude, they just texted all over. Like, yeah. They were all partying.
Vegas is popping because, as you mentioned, LG, who were in the last match, they are in Vegas as well. Yeah, EG in Seattle. Let's see where else. We got Sonics. They're gone, but they're over off on the East Coast. I'm trying to think of who else. We had Rogue in Vegas. They are not there anymore. Obviously, Rogue has got a new team somewhere else.
I think most people are in Vegas.
But some of the players from that, like Vertical, obviously stayed in Vegas to be with Reciprocity, I imagine. So
Dark Zero in Houston, right?
So Nyx obviously had to move over to Vegas.
How far of a drive is that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know how far it is from like places in California, but I'm not sure about Texas.
They're like 7 hours.
Probably something like that. It's like 9 from where I live, which is, it's not bad.
Did you drive to USM?
That was literally the only, I've been to Vegas like 6 times, and that was like the only time I didn't drive. I flew. Just to save some time, but it's like, usually drive. Love just seeing that big empty desert and the nothingness of Middle California.
At least it's not on fire.
Yeah. But I mean, it is great to see a couple teams in the same place. We had 3 in Vegas before, and now it's just 2. But it's cool because then the players can kind of hang out with each other, talk smack. I think it just helps NA build up some camaraderie. I mean, they are more within physical proximity.
Where are United based right now?
Not entirely sure on that one.
And Tempo Storm, are they based anywhere?
Well, I mean, you'll get to probably talk to one of them to ask. Although if it's a draw, maybe not. So just keep that in mind, Aster, in the interview. Where they at? Because you never know. I mean, it's great to see.
Congratulations on your victory. Where are you at? Like,
yeah. We should have said that to Gotcha. Then we would have known.
That's true. Gotcha, if you're listening, which I know you are.
It's all the day one interviews are just where you at. just to know
how the boy's doing.
But I think it's important to note because like these kinds of things in terms of team houses, living together with your team, the camaraderie, being comfortable there, those things do factor in. You know, it's something that factors into your play specifically. And I don't know if TSM even have a team house necessarily. And they've been playing for a while here in Pro League, so it's interesting to see. I mean, hopefully they do, because I think it's great. Although I'm a bigger fan of the apartment style, where you have everyone in their own apartments, so they don't get on each other's nerves, like real world style. But at the same time, I mean, Dark Zero seemed to be fine living in that one house.
Yeah, but it's a pretty big house at that point.
So hopefully
like
they
having an apartment
often. I mean, Rec had a pretty big house before as well when they were Cloud9.
This is why we have separate apartments. Imagine if we lived like one huge house and I had to deal with like...
Let's not do a caster house.
Intero on one side, Kicks on the other, you on one. And
okay, well, back to the game.
Honestly, you guys would just let me sleep in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, Milosh, you take care of all our food.
Yeah. Why not? Well,
no more frozen pizzas for you, mister.
You can cook those as well, I imagine. They still involve the oven. That's cooking, right?
That's not how it works.
Well, interestingly, we're going to start on the same bomb site. Trophy for the defense here as the sides have switched for TSM. So seems to be the meta at the moment then, in terms of where people want to start for these two teams at the very least.
Now, round number 6 does count, as you guys can tell. It's a 4-2. TSM, huge advantage, but you mentioned it before.
Yeah, we had 4-2 split going in the console as well.
It really does matter how you start off on your defense. And if TSM are able to show, like, yeah, we're actually really comfortable, specifically on this site, which is Trophy. This is the most attacker-sided site on the map, like probably the only one as well. It really requires you to not mess things up. So should that happen well and TSM win this round, then they'll be looking good when it comes to the theory. 5-2 gives them a lot of flexibility. They'll only need to win 2 rounds. They have 3 rounds of buffer before they really have Reciprocity breathing up their necks.
Interesting too, we're going to see Fox back on the Jackal. Now, they were the first team to play Villa back in the day, and Fox was on the Jackal, playing it Buck style from below. So it'll be interesting to see if he's still got that. Usually, like we said, Jackal often gets banned against Reciprocity here on this map, so maybe this is where they can make up some points. Vertical just popping into windows, just in case.
Now, I'm not surprised that Nyx is bringing the Twitch here with the Philosophy. Even with the nerf, she's still very strong.
Not to mention Mira has been in play sometimes.
So that helps. Plus, I think the Twitch play on this map was really popularized by Canadian. Still back then on EG. He was able to really clear roamers very efficiently.
It's a quiet drone.
The F2 just shreds people.
Yeah, that's the thing is because the drone is relatively quiet, you can kind of sneak it up on them. Do it similar to the way Ashe players do often, where they'll drone, find out where the player are, and then push into it.
Yeah.
And like you said, the F2 just melts them once he actually has their position down. So it definitely is something that works pretty well. Although it looks like he has someone droning for him. He actually has both drones in pocket, interestingly enough.
And just to use later on in the round, should it be required.
I mean, that's very efficient, though. Have someone else drone for you, get in, take some map control, and then use the drones yourself. But that means you have to have someone watching your back while you're on drone, because you're going to be inside the map droning. We are going to get some footprints picked up, though, by Fox. We didn't see a ton of usefulness from Doodle's Jackal on Consulate that we were able to see. So far, we've seen a little bit more here from Fox already, so it's a good start for them. But they need to pick up the pace a little bit, as over half the round is now gone. And we're not seeing Merc-style play where someone's already up against the bomb site right away.
Now, it might be Nyx doing that in just a second. And you see how not the entirety of the wall is reinforced. And the big reason for it is that TSM banned the Thatcher. And probably all of this was planned. Because, well, now you kind of expect Reciprocity to be coming in from the opposite end of the map, clearing up from Aviator Games Room. It takes a lot of time just to be sure, droning, going through things.
But it is funny with Thatcher banned that they would not bring a Kite or a Bandit.
Was that an FO12? Yes, it is. Oh my,
even
this
with
is...
the nerf. Still strong gun.
It's
Bolo,
so strong.
Taking out Fox already. That's going to be some footprints safe now.
Oh, Geo with a Nitro Cell hitting here. The Mozzie. The smoke takes a bit of damage, but I'll assume also that Nyx is down on the floor. Yes, he is. So that's a huge Nitro Cell there. Merc will find one more. And that's laxing out of play. Retro is basically the last man alive, and this is
the only one even taking any damage.
Reciprocity have just been smashed to bits here in the round. Pistols are peeking around. That's the Elo trying to contest, and well, not even actually. Achieved will take a bit of damage, but he's still in this. And yeah, Retro's going to save the op. There's nothing that he can even do in the round. Unfortunately, that'll be TSM to grab their first defensive round. It's 5-2. This is how important it is. Not only do TSM win the round, but they win it so convincingly that it really will knock Reciprocity on their side.
Reciprocity, I think they need a Merc-style player because it works so well for that early map control. Yes, they didn't always cover their flanks well, but they got towards bomb site very quick, and that bought them a lot of time to actually play around that.
Well, you know what the craziest thing is that Nyx is that sort of player, and Skies before that was that sort of player too. So you talked about how we see sometimes Laxing popping off, but usually, as you also mentioned, it's when it's needed. It's
almost always in
to
clutch
save the
positions.
round. Yeah, exactly.
It's because he's very good at staying alive during a round and providing additional intel and map control, as opposed to getting into fights early. Because he's smart about that. He wants to be alive to make sure the team's able to pull things off. Interestingly, though, I was talking about stats for Living Room Library earlier. We're going to get to see it here and see if it affects those stats going forward and ruins that 100% win rate.
Let's see if TSM have got that knowledge required to win this one out. Again, this is the site that should not work, yet somehow it does because it's so out of place.
You know what TSM's doing, though?
What?
Something that we didn't see from Reciprocity. Now, Reciprocity didn't have a Maestro, right? And they didn't have a Valkyrie, so they had no cams.
That's true.
What are we seeing from TSM? We're seeing a bulletproof camera. You just saw Pojo put it up. Last round, Castle had the bulletproof camera. Doesn't have it this round, but they are bringing bulletproof cameras for additional intel because the two defender bands were the two other sets of cams. And I think that's benefiting them. I think that's part of what helped them do so well in their defense last round as well.
Yeah, bulletproof camera, Echo, plus the
Mozzie mute combo.
Mozzie mute combo. Yeah, all of it is just great. As usual, the entire point of running this is to deny info plus to gather some yourself.
Yeah, Laxing's really going to have to spot a lot of that stuff out early, especially the Yokais.
Oh, they even have this half wall here opened up. So usually what happens is that you fully reinforce that bathroom, but when you're TSM right now and you really want to put Rec on their toes, you leave it soft, and you even have a rotation hole there, as you can see. So yeah, you can tell there Fox was able to drone it.
It's really stalling him out, though. He's still outside.
It actually,
there we go.
It's way more scary than having it closed because you have to always watch for something.
Well, it's so easy to just jump in that bathroom and then work on the doorway. Now you got to watch two angles, and that's the bomb site there, so you know there's going to be anchors playing it.
Ooh, vertical though. That's the hallway cleared. Achieved is down and out. Okay, so the Zofia is running the Claymore and already used up the two explosive charges there with the Gzmot. Fox might be prepping for some smoke grenades there to be used, but Bolo is rotating his Yokai. Here you go. First smoke's going to go out, and unfortunately here for the attackers, they're going to be tracked here. Flashbangs are going to be thrown in as they'll be denying the diffuser plant. Nyx will go in for the second time, but there's the flank. Pocho Man is ready to close it, and he finds one close to Tekken. Yes, he does. That's the headshot. Polo with one more. The MP5 rattling off against Retro. Hear the snake-like shots there on the suppressed weapon. Laxing coming around from the mid-stairs. Vertical has little utility left here on the Zofia. To deal with Pojo in this position is very difficult, but it will open up the site for you. Vertical is walking in slowly. He's making a bit of noise. There's one player upstairs also making a decent chunk of it too, and trying to use some of the debris here to your advantage. Smart play from Pojo Man, but Laxing has come down. And there's the shot. Vertical gets Bolo. That's the Echo off. Can he find the mute, however? He's lying down on the floor, and he's so close to getting it. Yes, he'll be able to do so, but Vertical takes a lot of damage, and he does not have any ammo left on his M762. Now he's going to reload in the meantime. Not going for the diffuser plant. He finds one more on a Merc. He's a 1v1. Turns around the corner, but Geo's too fast. And there's the headshot. TSM secure it. Reciprocity so close for the comeback. That flank from Pojo Man was excellent on the mute. Diffusers dropped, and that is match point.
I really like that Bolo used the smoke to cover his Yokai rotate, too. Because he saw him go across from the doorway into behind the desk where the plant was going to go down. He knew that was a run for a plant, so he rotates the yokai and gets an angle above the smoke again to sit and hit him. That stops the diffuser. It gives the chance for Pojo to make the flank, and then it just falls apart from there. Also, a quick flick from him over the top of the desk to get that second kill and stop it from being a trade. But what a great attempt by Vertical. Luckily for them, because they made the plant attempt early, they had a lot of time to try and recapture it, and Vertical used that. But Laxing unable to find a kill to help on the flank. Definitely cost Vert the play there.
Defenders,
He tried. Certainly tried, but now it's guaranteed 1 point for TSM. Not looking good here.
This might be the recovery of TSM. One thing I want to highlight for everybody watching right now is that you might be watching all of the regions, either EU, NA, Latin America, or APAC, and thinking like, hey, this team played against this one the very first or second play day, and they lost, and this player didn't perform very well. What should we be thinking? Was this player the problem? I really want to tell you right here, right now, to get those assumptions out of your head. I would implore you to give things a couple weeks before you start making any judgments.
It's essentially a best of 2 spread out over 6 months, so this is just one of the maps of that.
Yeah, plus right now we just came in. A lot of teams had these changes in their rosters. Give it these 4 first play days, so over the next 2 weeks, to kind of have people walk themselves into the pressures and the new environments, and then we can talk about who's not performing very well. I think by play day number 4, it really sets up for the start of the second half of the season very well. But right now in the first play day, I think it's way too early to make any assumptions.
Yeah, but the good thing is we are seeing TSM doing quite well in the best of 1 here, guaranteeing 1 point.
That's unusual.
This is far better than they did last season already.
Very unusual.
Looking good on this map, essentially. And Reciprocity, really, again, maybe shouldn't play Villain anymore. Their record so far is pretty bad. Good drone work here coming out, though. They are trying to isolate this Elo player of Achieved and get him early. He was an early frag last round, or the round before, I don't know which call it was. But Laxing taking down Bolo early, the smoke player. A great initial pick here. That's really going to make things easier for a site push potentially. However, a lot of flank rotations coming. Really, Achieved's just burning time here. Everyone kind of afraid to push him. And now that Merc's protecting him as well, it's going to be hard to get him out of there. You see ADS as well trying to help protect him. It looks like they might even be just considering rotating rather than fight him. But if they continue to put pressure on him, he won't feel like he can move. So they do want to leave one person there, in this case Vertical, to try and put pressure. And you get that the Sistel rivalry kind of thing going on.
Oh,
nice attempt by Merc. But Merc, you got to finish that kill on a Nyx. But you know what? He's like...
He still got Vert somehow as he dropped in.
Almost finished the kill there as well. Nyx just barely getting out alive. Pojo also providing some intel here. Unfortunately, can't hit the shot, but does get the drone. Now, again, Merc coming to back him up.
There is support here from Geo, but that's the kill from Retro.
It was Geo.
He goes around the corner. He gets 1 kill. He gets 2, and that's diffuser dropped. One player coming around the corner. Laxing as well, trying to pinch alongside Fox. But that's 1 for Geo. He's collecting them all. Triple kill and achieved the last one. That's the game done and dusted. TSM absolutely demolished Reciprocity to 7-2 victory.
Flawless defense side. Played 3 bomb sites. Library of all things, win rate still good. TSM looking like a different beast with Geo on it.
That's Zeronic.
I feel like it took him a little bit of time to get Geo in there, but man, you see obviously MVP there, but still, the real MVP to me is Merc.
Yeah.
Because obviously this was the MVP for after the rehost.
Yep.
So,
he still got 6 kills in those 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic work from TSM. They look much more solid as a team in these best of 1s now. Reciprocity look a little shaky, but they have a poor record on that map, so it's not surprising. I'd like to see them play something they're stronger at, like Consulate.
And again, when we say poor record on the map, it counts everything from Raleigh Major until now.
Literally just talking about the stats that were on
So just the stats, we look at just purely that. We're not talking about how close those games were, who were they against.
Yeah, obviously, they could have been 7-5s.
The roster, there was at least one of them, and the rosters were very different, most of the teams that are in play right now, so we're talking in general.
But in general, looking at that, maybe don't play that map for a while till you get it settled, because Reciprocity looked almost lost on it, and we didn't even see those Laxing clutches that we come to expect. Fox had a few good, runouts there to try and save things towards the end, but just overall, it was a bit sloppy, and TSM looked really tight, especially in the roam game there, and just players like Geo and Merc just going off.
Yeah, I have to say, they both played excellently. Pojo Man had the important kills that were necessary. Bolo playing more of a support role, and he did it excellently himself. You're not supposed to see him popping off.
Achieved had a few good plays in there as well. He just got lost in the mix a little bit. So overall, the whole team really performing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what ends up happening when the team is working well. 7-2 victory. It's been really a while since TSM were able to win something online.
Yeah,
it's specifically a best of one. Everybody's been talking about this for a while.
You'll have to ask them about if they have the team house thing going on, because maybe that helped if they did get a team house and they're able to be all together in person, just because they do so well at LAN when they're all together in person. That maybe that's a factor, maybe not. Maybe they just got it together this time. Because, I mean, it was disappointing to see such a strong team doing so poorly last season and just narrowly avoiding relegation, because basically they sent Rogue into relegation by just barely leapfrogging them. And, well, they managed to poach one of the players out of it. Or not, I'm sorry, they didn't, but Reciprocity did manage to poach one of the players out of that. And most of them have gone to new homes, much like a litter of stray puppies.
Technically, you could also say that a Reciprocity were able to take out Redeemer from it, as Redeemer was signed as Rogue's coach later on in the season.
At the very end.
Literally the last 2 weeks of the season, and that was after Ranger had kind of left the team to later on.
I think that was when Ella the dog was coaching at that point. Mark, go over here. Mark, work together, guys. Come on.
I sound like a chicken or a dog.
It's not Bark. It's supposed to be a bark, but you know. Animal impressions aren't my forte. Sorry.
Finally, we find a flaw in you. Honestly, it took so long.
That'll be my next role. Animal sounds.
But here we are. I mean, the Reciprocity now have Redeemer as their coach. They officially announced it. I'm not too sure how long he's been kind of helping them.
Yeah.
A lot of teams really waited until the last second to announce things. You saw today the announcement with Rogue taking up the Giants team and then Rips joining the squad for EU. It literally was like, was it 4 hours before the start of EU Pro League? So
that's how it is, though. Generally, we find out all the stuff officially right before the start, or right just before the show starts.
Don't worry, guys. You all act surprised.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Anyone who follows the Reddit usually kind of has an idea what's going on.
Reddit always knows everything.
Yeah, or they think they do.
Is somebody's going to make a thread and like, oh my god, all the casters are attacking us. They hate us.
Look, I go there for strategy. Obviously, they are definitely the strat
I check the subreddit all the time.
Yeah, it's important. Research. Especially on meme weekends.
Oh, dude, I miss... Okay, people have to really step up their meme game.
Yeah.
Because
everyone's gotten a little lazy.
I've been disappointed recently. But we'll see as Pro League has started. We have our interview ready, so let's go have a quick chat with TSM. Hey! Oh, is that a great Pojo face there? Oh my god. Pojo Man, congratulations on the victory. 7-2 against Reciprocity on Villa, a map that they're considered to be very strong on. With their new lineup, though, didn't seem like it was the case. You guys came in really very well prepared, and starting off on the attack, collecting 4 rounds is great. How does Merc do it?
Merc's just nasty, to be honest. Like, and he was playing his role. He was watching the flanks. Like, he was doing everything he needed to do, and he's still killing everybody. So, like, he's kind of like our semi-flank watcher while we're going for those takes, because that's just what Villa's like. And then just cleaning everybody up. He got a Claymore kill too. Reby, take it.
I mean, he put that Claymore on the mid stairs on the red carpet, and it's just way more difficult to spot that Claymore than you'd even expect it. It's not until you're in.
It's broken. Yeah. It's the emberized Claymore, basically. You can't see a red Claymore on a red carpet. Doesn't work.
Let's just be happy that emberized skins are banned, right?
Thank God.
We take our victories where we can, and then we go in rank to play against them. We're like, why am I even here? Can I just alt F4?
Yep.
That said, you guys played really, really well on your attacking side, but also on your defense. You're absolutely flawless. Now, that Thatcher ban, was it all prepared for you to play that sort of semi-flex on Marble?
The Thatcher ban was mainly because we knew they relied on it a lot. We felt like we could just kind of play with it pretty easily. And if they bring a Twitch when you do a Thatcher ban, you know you did something right. So I think that kind of speaks for itself.
It really forces them to go for an operator that's kind of it doesn't always work well for you, especially when you don't have anything else to snipe. Now we're talking about that like Mozzie mute combination, but it seems to have worked even better for you guys this time around. What was the combination that you were looking for to stop them? Because it didn't seem like Reciprocity were able to gather much intel on you.
I mean, you can't really argue with mute Mozzie when Thatcher's banned. Like, it's just super hard to get rid of. But the way we drawn the map and everything, and big shout out to our coach Bagel, we picked up just before this. He's not on our official roster, but he's definitely been putting in a crap load of work to help us. So he's kind of the one that devised all of this. So.
All right, and finally, I want to talk about that 8th round. You guys went for the library defense, and it's definitely unusual. You don't really see it. It keeps the 100% victory rate on it. I really liked how Bolo was able to maneuver his Echo as the smokes were coming in, but what was allowing you to kind of rotate around in the center hallway? Because it's such an open position, and you're the mute, you're the one with the SMG-11. It's difficult to go for those longer gunfights should you be forced to go for them.
So those gunfights in that hallway weren't too bad. Like, you're relatively close, but I just saw, I kind of like checked the hallway and I was like, okay, there's nothing there, and nobody was really covering the hallway, and I was able to just walk in and kill the guy for free. So
you think that was
kind of had my cover from white. So
you think that was a mistake from Reciprocity to not have anyone watching the hallway?
Oh, 100%. But that was kind of the idea, was to burn. They would take study, burn their time, and then they'd come there, and then what do they don't have a whole lot of time, and they didn't have the manpower because we knew somebody would be crouching on the other side of the map. So
yeah,
we had the opening and we took it. So
well, in the end, it came down to 1v1, but it was very much a victory for Geo. So here we are, everybody popping off in the squad. Though that said, anything you'd like to say to all the fans out there after TSM seemed to have recovered from the best of one syndrome? It's a pretty big win today against Reciprocity.
Just thanks to all the fans for believing in us. Thanks to TSM for supporting us like crazy. Like, they give us anything we need, anything we want, we get pretty much. And big shout out to Bagel once again for like really putting in the work.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be seeing you in the next couple days for your next matchup in Play-Doh number 2 of NA. Pojo, congratulations. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Thanks. You too.